Joe Biden says that shrinkflation is the problem. The president who couldn't even do the yearly interview during the Super Bowl because unfortunately he is so out of it. Not Joe's fault. Not Joe's fault. He's an old man. Can't blame him for that. The people you have to blame for anyone getting into power are the voters. And voters being uninformed, that is a cause or symptom of a broken monetary system, a broken system itself, a broken education system, a broken media system. How are those things all propagated? Through a broken financial system. So shrinkflation is a symptom. The person that's hurting, the guy coming out saying he's calling on companies to stop this shrinkflation thing. There's less in a bag of chips. And are you kidding me? You're the people who are hurting the most amount of people going and blaming their victims for the problem. This is the mind F we are in right now. As Milton Friedman said, inflation is a monetary phenomenon anywhere and everywhere. That's all it is. Shortages, empty shelves, all that is a symptom. Shrinkflation, all these things, the Putin price hike, all these different things are just obfuscations of reality. They are just untruths. Inflation itself causes from the expansion of a currency supply. That's it. Inflation. It's inflating. That's it. All the input costs are going up for everything. That's why companies themselves are trying to figure out a different way to repackage their products. And they do it in two ways. One is shrinkflation, to make their products the same cost so they don't have to charge a consumer anymore, but they put less in it. The other way, which is even more insidious, again, they're forced to do it because their job is to make a profit, and it's up to the consumer to buy their product or not, is they put terrible ingredients in it, or they put terrible elements into their product, or worse elements, instead of using the better elements, because now the input costs are more. So now they have to go to cheaper and cheaper byproducts that go into their product or service. So now the consumer is losing because inflation is increasing the input costs, and you're getting a worse product, you're getting a worse service, you're putting worse things in your body. This, again, is only happening because of a broken monetary system. Do we see a theme here? Every single video we have ever done, all these things come back to a broken monetary system. You can talk about God. The very first thing, if people will follow, there's a great story. There's a lady, a nun or a sister, consecrated woman. I don't know what the exact story was. It goes to a prison, and she would always go and read Bible readings and visit with the prisoners there, and talk about just life, try to help them. And one day, one of the inmates that she was talking to, or talked to a lot, said, "Sister, there's 50,000 rules that put me into this place." And she just looked at him and she's like, "Yeah, that's wild. That's a lot of rules." She's like, "Did you know that there's 10 that would keep you out?" 10. Very simple. Life's simple. 10. 10 that will keep you out. And we as humans tend to overcomplicate things, and we make things all so convoluted, when in reality, if we just stuck to nature's law, first principles, the commandments, life would be much easier. You don't have to worry about all these things. And I imagine that's how the Garden of Eden was. I imagine that's how heaven is. Unfortunately, we chose that we wanted to become gods. We wanted to taste the forbidden fruit. Whatever you may believe the forbidden fruit is. Humans said, "You know what? I'm smarter than you, God. You told me not to do it, but I'm a God. I want to know what you know. I'm going to build a Tower of Babel. I'm going to put brain chips and brain plants in my head. I'm going to put little chips in my wrist. I'm going to clone people. I'm going to abort them in my womb. I'm going to do things over and over again just to spite you, because I'm God. Humans are God. We know more than you. We can build a tower all the way up to the sky." Sound familiar? Here we are. I don't know what to say anymore. But that's the first step. That's the first brick, or if you want to put at the bottom, the foundation. Truth, ultimate truth. The Alpha and Omega is the truth. Right above that is the monetary layer. There's a reason. There is a reason. Central bankers, whenever you read all the books and the videos, all the things I've watched now for the last 500 years, not me watching them, but studying the last 500 years, taking God out of society and then taking out the monetary layer are always 1 and 2. Why is that? We need to ask why that is. Because those are the foundations of life. We just talked about the first layer, the spiritual layer. How about the second layer? That's the communication layer of society. The strongest and largest communication layer of all of society is the monetary layer. Money is just information. It's a container to store your time and energy. Yes, that's the biggest thing, probably the easiest definition. But what it does is relay information. What that monetary container of your time and energy does is it relays information. It's speech. It's just code. It's information, and it's us, the free market, going with a feedback loop to communicate values and our preferences and our choices to each other all around the world, every second of every day. That's all it is. And when you mess that up and you start messing that up and screwing with that and obfuscating things and creating opaqueness, now there's huge distortions and dislocations in society. And now people don't know what they need to save in, and they start losing their wealth. They start losing their time and energy. They start getting angry because they don't know why they're losing their time and energy. They don't know why they can't pay for things. They don't know why their car wash used to be $2 or $1 and now it's $7 a car wash. They don't know why the bag of popcorn was 10 cents and now it's $5. They don't know why their house used to cost $5,000 and now it costs $500,000. The same house, the same bag of popcorn now is 20x, 50, 100 times more dollars you need to find to buy the same bag of popcorn. Those popcorn kernels haven't changed. There ain't that much extra butter on there. The house hasn't changed that much. It's still a 3-bedroom, 2-bath ranch. The wood's not any different. It's the same thing here. It's the devaluation of the currency. It's the destruction of the currency. You lose your morals, number one. As the founding fathers talk about this all the time. This American experiment can only work if there's a moral and just religious people. That's it. If there's not people that realize there are bigger things than them in life, this experiment won't last. Because number 2 goes next. It's the monetary layer. We think we're bigger than God and we can do whatever we want. We can steal from each other, commandment. We can steal from each other. We can idolize, other gods, false gods. Another commandment. We can idolize money because that's what fiat makes you do. Government-run debt-based currencies, fiat currencies, make you idolize it because it's slipping out of your hands. Sand is running through your hands. You're losing it through inflation. So you're idolizing it. You're like, I need more of this. I need this. I got to figure out how to do this. I got to leave my family. I got to fly around the world and move my family to the other side of the world. I'm gone every month. And I'm doing all these things just to get more cash, just to get more currency, living for a paycheck, trying to get ahead, climb the corporate ladder, trying to do all these crazy things. All in the name of the dollar, all in the name of the peso, the lira, yen, this fiat currency that's slipping through your hands. Do we see where we're going with this? So all society becomes distorted. And you start seeing their knock-on effects because now your children don't have their parents as much because they're going to daycares more. They're not seeing them as much because their parents are flying all over. Well, mom and dad have to work, or they have to do this, they have to do that. Well, they got to go to school, a glorified babysitter, government-run school for 8 hours a day because mom and dad have to work, and on and on and on. And I'm still guilty of these things too. That's why I'm trying to figure out through this process. I've seen the process. I've seen the path. And I'm trying to align myself with complete truth and complete reality of what's going on in the situation and and how do I preserve my purchasing power? I used to think it was just through assets. Like, I got to get assets. Now I realize it's through a monetary system shift. It's the shrinkflations of the world, all these things Joe's talking about are so far down the pecking order. We keep fighting and scratching. We're just putting ointment and putting a Band-Aid, slapping it on that bullet hole. We got bullet holes all over our bodies, and we're just throwing Neosporin out all over these holes, thinking, we're good. We're going to be fine. Just vote in a new guy. Vote in a new Band-Aid, and that'll slap it on, and we'll be good to go. Well, good luck with that. That's why I choose to root my life in truth, right here. Number 1, that foundation on the bottom. And then number 2, ultimate truth in money. 21 million, never be more, never be less. That's it. I want my life rooted in truth because then I can navigate the seas once I have an immovable object I am going towards and I have ultimate truth. That's the biggest thing for me. It's not about inflation and shrinkflation and I'm going to trade in and out of this crap coin, this crypto token, so I can get more fiat. Why would I trade the hardest money ever for more fiat trash tokens? We want a new system. We are building a new system. That's what is going to happen, not the other way around. Government didn't choose gold as this is the money. People chose gold. Just like people are choosing Bitcoin and are going to continue choosing Bitcoin. And it will root out and defund all the insanity in governments, the ruling class, the governmental, non-governmental organizations, all the political classes, ruling classes around the world. That's the ride we are in for. Please share this out. The algorithm hates truth. Question everything bonus, even the distance of God himself. Trust but verify what I'm saying. This is not financial advice, it's freedom advice. I'll see you in the next one.